Hello everyone, welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So again, we're based out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. If you're in the area, definitely reach out to us. We're close to Delaware, Philadelphia, even Baltimore. Not far from Allentown, but again, just a great, really good local group, very skilled players. At the same time, it's more important to go out and play with our little toy soldiers. So, again, it's going to be an episode of 9th Age Battle Reports, and what we are doing is, unfortunately, there aren't many of us going. So, actually, only two of us, Ryan, who's a pretty boy up on the boards, and myself. And we're actually going to be taking one of the another opposing team member with us, but even still. So, three of us are going to be heading out. Ryan and I are going to be playing the team tournament, which we have not practiced for at all. But we're using two armies we feel extremely comfortable with. And meanwhile, we're going out to Buckeye Battles. It is next weekend, being the weekend of July 7th, 8th, and 9th. The doubles tournament is on the 7th, starting at 10 a.m. I don't know who decided to make it start at 10 a.m. But thankfully we have off, so we'll be driving at 9 o'clock at night. So probably pulling into the hotel about 3, 4, 8 o'clock in the morning. Maybe get about 3 hours sleep. So advantage to our opponents on that one. What the hell are we thinking? But it's going to be great. I mean, I have heard about Buckeye Battles since I joined the 9th Age and got back into tournament play, and nothing but good things. And I've heard nothing but good things. Again, I think I may have met Jeff, but nothing but good, wonderful things. I think right now it's 100 people. We are beating out... And I'm going to say a game from that company that shall never be named, but still, we are beating out the 40K players. The 9th Age has more players at this tournament than 40K, and we have almost 100, if not 100 players. That's fantastic. I mean, I'm speechless about that. We're calling from all over the country. We're going to gladly represent the Philadelphia area. And, you know, Ryan's like, we need to make a banner. I'm like, we just need to get there and be in one piece and awake for the whole thing right now because of what time we're heading in. But, with that said, here it is, Sylvan Elves versus Dwarven Holds. So this is a practice game for that. And it's, again, going to be against the same opponent as I played last time. He actually got another game in earlier tonight with Brett while I worked on some stuff for the 9th Age. And he... beat soundly with the same army, Warriors of the Dark Gods list. So it's the same list I played with last time. I'm sorry for not posting the list, but honestly, I don't have his list, and I'm not posting mine because I just don't have time to do it right now. So here's the board. We had Brett turn around and set the board. That funky-looking square-shaped thing in the middle there, that is his forest that he put down as a Sylvan Elf player, and it's counter thrust. So I started deploying first. I put down the Vengeance Seeker or Junior there in the middle of the board. And the secondary objectives are secure target on this one. So that's his little marker right next to my Vengeance Seeker. And that's it. So I backed everything up off the line here for a reason. Is just in case I didn't get first turn, I could still shoot him and move up and set myself up in such a manner. And I was able to vanguard the warriors up there on the left there in a manner that they couldn't be seen by anything, but they still had a great view of that flank. So let's see, what else I have going on over here. That's it. So that's another pick for the board. And so he ended up getting first turn. So let's see. Going back. There's his marker. My marker is... I know where it is. It's to the left of the hill, back behind that... to the right of the hill. Or left of the hill, just back behind. Because I looked at the board, I'm like, yep, that's where I'm going to end up. So he ended up winning first turn because he had a +1 on his die roll. And he moved up. That's what his army does. So I'm going, as he lines up against me, and he does his magic phase, in which case he gets his -1 to my ballistic skill on that unit, and then in his shooting phase, he manages to kill 2 of my spears. Just want to go back. So as he moves up, I'm going, all right, what can I charge? Not tipping my hand yet. What can I charge? And I decide I could charge both the Dryads and the Tree Man there, or I could just charge the Tree Man. But the Warriors over there on the far flank, they have a line of sight. They have a bead on the Dryads in their flank. That could work. That could really work. So let's see, going back to my turn 1, and that's exactly what happens here. Is I turn around, and he was hysterical. If you've never played Phil, he's an awesome guy to play, and he really is an excellent painter. But I turn around, I'm able to make in my charge. It was a 9. I had to roll a 9, so I had to roll 9 inches on the Warriors. Got into that flank there. And he's like, sure, of course, why not? You know, why wouldn't you make that charge? And I charged into his Tree Father there, and that's it. I only during the shooting phase, I only managed to put 2 wounds on the other Tree Father there, and that's it. Otherwise, I'm chaffing up on the left flank. I'm setting myself up for some more counter charges. And that's all I got. I make sure that the big guy can't make it into the 1 unit of Warriors. And my hatreds, just so everyone knows, my hatreds are on 2 units of Dryads and the Treekin, or whatever the Thicket Beasts. So the Dryads, the Thicket Beasts, is what I have my hatreds on. So during that turn, I do not kill the Tree Father. I win due to combat res, and he rolled boxcars for his leadership test, and he runs away. I did wounds to it, but I didn't kill it, and I was holding my head going, I can't believe I'm not killing this stupid thing. So that thing turns around, flees, dies, everything pursues, ends up putting my spears. Now, I wanted to kill it flat out, because had I killed it flat out, and then I just would have had to overrun my unit. Both units just could have overran, and Deep Watch would have been absolutely fine. But the Warriors ended up going into the woods, and the Deep Watch ended up still going into the Dryads because they couldn't really miss it. That's how that looks there. And then I do that combat, and I don't do as well as what I'd like. And this is actually the start of his turn, or after his movement. So I killed a bunch of Dryads. He tries to charge the flank of my king's unit with his unit of Treekin, or I'm sorry, with a Thicket Beast, and he fails. He actually rolls a 4 on dice, but he needed a 4. But they have that banner that says it's minus D6 inches to your charge range. So because he only rolled a 4, I rolled a 1. I won't lie, I rolled horribly. But that's all I needed. Put him at 8 inches, and I was 9 inches away. So that was that. During his shooting phase, both his big Tree Father Ancient and the other Tree Father turn around and team up and just kill Junior with maxing out his wounds at 3. But they only did 3 wounds after saves and all. Then he had also charged my Warriors over here. So let me go back to that pick. So he charged the Warriors all the way on the far left. And that's it. He didn't plan on anything really happening. So he kills 3. I kill nothing. He breaks me and chases after me. I get away. That unit will come back later on. But I get away. And meanwhile, he did not get out of the line of sight of Junior. They're staring pretty at his flank. So during my turn, during his turn, I turn around, I break the unit of Dryads. I have the Warriors with great weapons run after them. Then they're going to go sit on that objective marker for the rest of the game. And that's it. So he lined up his 2 Eagles. Do I have that in that one picture? So he lines up his 2 Eagles. I'm sorry, I completely forgot about that. He lines them up. And he's going, that's it. They're doing what they're meant to do. They are going war machine hunting. Like, all right, bring it. That's all I can say is bring it. And that's it. So during my turn, so this is now only turn 2. So turn 2, I take my handgunners and I chaff up his big critter. And I charge him with my Deep Watch into the other Tree Father that's got 2 wounds. So all I have to do is 4 wounds, and that thing's dead. Needing 3s and 5s. I feel confident I could actually do it. I mean, my King's going to be wounding on 3s. Yeah, that's basically it. So, magic phase goes off. Again, dwarf magic is nothing really big or special. However, during the shooting phase, look who joined the dead. It's a beautiful created model by my opponent, because you can see the tree is actually a lot of wire and stuff like that, and it really is very well done, very well put together. But it did not survive 2 organ guns. It just didn't. One of them rolled 16 flaming shots, and the other one rolled 22 non-flaming shots with a -1 to hit. However, he was within 15 inches, so one needed 5s, one needed 3s, and they just lit him up. So, with that said, this combat, I only do 1 wound, and he does 2 to me, and that's after his stomps. I'm going, I can't believe I only did 2 wounds. It's not that I didn't make more than 2 wounds. It's, he was rolling really well last game and this game on his ward save. Really, really well. So, during his turn now, he turns around. I had charged in with Junior during my last turn. He reformed, and he's going to go ahead and go after Junior there. He charges in with both his Eagles into the 1 war machine. He kills that war machine, and he goes, crap! I didn't want it to die! I wanted it to survive 1 more turn! And, oops. Let's see, what else? I got my warriors out of the forest. That's it. My shooting was fairly ineffective this turn. I managed to turn around and kill one of the Eagles, and that's that. And so over there, his Tree Father kills another 2. I do nothing, absolutely nothing to him. I'm like, all right, whatever. And by the way, during this last Dryad combat, he actually had toughness 6 on him, but I didn't care, because I'm like, you throw enough dice, you're going to be getting 6s. I'm not getting anything over there. But he's in a position he really can't charge that well. Sorry, wrong button. So, let's see. There's that. They break, or no, they rally. I move them in. That's that. Took a picture of his Eagles. Why, I don't know. They just killed my war machine. But that's it. So now it's Dwarf's turn 3. And here's where that Tree Father, there in the middle of the board, oh my god, that thing refused to be wounded. It just refused. Phil may have been complaining about the dice gods a little bit, but he really had no reason to. I mean, I ended up finally getting my spears in there that had a strength 10 for smashing against that model, and even still, I think I did 1 wound. Just 1 wound. That was it. Over here, he kills Junior, so he's going to turn around and do another reform. So now it is now back to the Sylvan Elves, turn 4. Here's how the board looks after movement. He is now stuck back again with that unit of warriors. And he did charge with his Thicket Beast into my handgunners that ran away. They moved 11. He's like, you coward. I'm like, darn Skippy, live to fight another day. he redirected into the Deep Watch. The Deep Watch and the BSP finally did the final remaining wound on the Tree Father. And my king issued a challenge that his unit champion took. And that was it. So, in which case, this champion did nothing to my king. There's the dead Tree Father from my BSB. And I definitely won that combat. And he reformed. I still turned around and charged in with the spears into the flank. So now it's Dwarves turn 4. Deep Watch spears are up in the top middle. Fighting that unit of Thicket Beasts. The Eagle is now into my my organ gun. My Rangers charge the rear of his Dryads, and he goes, "Oh, those Lone Rangers! That one Lone Ranger!" And that's it. That's all he's got left. So the game is definitely more or less controlled by me at this point. And it starts going quicker, except we still roll a lot of dice. So during the close combat phase, he does wounds onto my organ gun, but I think he did 3 wounds. I rally my fleeing troops, and that's it. So now it's turn 5 to him. He turns around, and that one lone warrior turns around, runs away. You know what? I never did see if I rallied him. Dice. I don't look dice. Just out of curiosity. Hey, look, I rolled a 5. He actually rallies on his own leadership. So it. Let's see. And I'm still caught in there with his Thicket Beast, but meanwhile the character is dead, and he's losing Thicket Beast at this point in time. Yep, that would be it. And over here, that's where he did the 5 wounds. I still have 2 Rangers in the back. The Rangers in the back are stubborn, so they stick around. He does those. He does another wound during his turn, so I've got 4 wounds on that War Machine. 4 wounds. Guess what's coming? Engineer. Save the day. So here is, again, that picture of the Thicket Beast. So he killed 3 models. So I'm winning the war of attrition, but I just can't get him to break because he's got that stubborn 9. Over here, it's now Dwarves turn 5. I charge into his Dryads. He does the 1 wound needed to turn around and break my his, what is that called? Disruption. So I'm no longer disrupting him. He kills the final Lone Ranger and then turns to face them. Turn 6. So during his turn 6, let me go back a few picks here so I can show you the board. So during, I eventually kill that unit of Dryads. I overrun at the bottom of turn 5. Turn 6, because he is now turned to flank the handgunners. They break from combat. He pursues. I get away. But I managed to block my charge with my handgunners. So, alright, well, not the end of the world. We'll figure out how to make it work. So, fast forwarding to Dwarf turn 6. So, here's the end of the game. So, Thicket Beasts are gone. I can't charge because I can't get around my own models. And, you know, that's it. I do end up opening up with the organ gun and the engineer and lowering that unit by enough so I get half points for that. Otherwise, I still have my vengeance. I still have 1 organ gun that's wounded. He's getting half points, but I still have all the points for Deep Watch, all the points for my spears. I still have all my characters, and I still have my handgunners. Those are all my expensive critters. So, you know, as much as it was a good game, it was such a fun game. Phil is a wonderful player to play against. It ends up being a total massacre. So, end result is a Dwarven Holds victory, 20-0. Sylvan Elves were just, they got a little manhandled. That's all I can say, a little dwarf handled. So, the MVPs, that Undying Tree Father. Turn around, and he held for about 4 or 5 rounds of combat. So that Tree Father was his MVP, preventing me from tabling him, in all honesty. Unfortunately, though, because of how I positioned it, it prevented him from countercharging me. So a little bad play on his part, but good play on my part. So that's that. And again, Dwarven Holds, those organ guns. Those organ guns were brutal by killing his general, killing the one bird, getting the other unit below half points. What else do you have left? Putting in 2 wounds on the Tree Father. And that's it. I mean, every single round they were effective, they were useful, and I can't say enough about them. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely feel free to post, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Until next time, happy gaming!